Hi, I'm Maya.
And I'm Noah. I'm very excited to talk about this episode because we're going to be talking about something in Joseph's life that he's very well known for.
Yeah, some of you may have heard of Joseph and his dreams.
Let's watch today's God story to see how Joseph's family dealt with his dreams.
Why do fish live in salt water? Because pepper makes them sneeze. Hey everyone, it's Alyssa. I am so excited to share a God story with you today. So I don't know about you, but I love watching the Olympics. And one of my favorite parts about the Olympics is seeing these athletes accomplish something that they've dreamed about for their entire lives. They've trained and practiced all with the hope and dream in mind that they would compete in the Olympics and maybe even win a medal. Dreams can be really cool for our lives, but the thing about dreams is that they don't always become a reality. Our ideas might change, life might take us in a different direction, but there is also this truth, which is today's big idea, that when God gives us a dream, He will see it through. So last week, we met a guy named Joseph, who was one of Jacob's 12 sons. This week, we're gonna dive into what Joseph's relationship with his 11 brothers were like, and I'll just give you a hint, they weren't huge fans of his. When Joseph was 17 years old, he worked as a shepherd, caring for his dad's sheep. He worked with his older brothers, and one day he saw that they were involved in some bad things, and so then he told his dad, and his brothers were not really happy about that. So Joseph's dad, Jacob, loved Joseph more than any of his other children. Now, this isn't Joseph's fault, but it did put him in a crummy situation. I mean, imagine if your parents came and told you and your siblings that you were their favorite child. How would that make your siblings feel? Because Jacob loved Joseph more than his other sons, he had a special gift made specifically for Joseph, a colorful, bright robe or coat. Now, this was a big deal, and it made Joseph's brothers really jealous. They started to hate him, and they were really mean to him. Then, one night, Joseph had a dream that he told his brothers about. And in this dream, all of them were out in the field bundling up grain, and then suddenly Joseph's bundle of grain stood up, and all the other ones came around and bowed down to it. So maybe you're wondering, what does this dream even mean? Grain, bowing down, what? But Joseph's brothers thought they knew what it meant. They thought that Joseph felt mightier and more important than them, and that so much so that they would be bowing down to him. Now, because of this dream, Joseph's brothers started to hate him even more. And then Joseph had another dream, and we're gonna read about it in the Bible, in Genesis 37:9. Then Joseph had another dream. He told it to his brothers. "Listen," he said, "I had another dream. This time, the sun and moon and 11 stars were bowing down to me." Okay, 11 stars. Remember, Joseph had 11 brothers, right? He told his father about the dream too, and this is how his father responded. "What about this dream you had? Will your mother and I and your brothers really do that? Will we really come and bow down to the ground in front of you?" His brothers were jealous of him, but his father kept the dreams in mind. Now, here's the scoop. A lot more things happen in Joseph's life, and we'll hear more about that next time. But I want to tell you about something really cool that happens in Joseph's future. These dreams that he had, there really did come a time when his brothers bowed down to him. The dreams that God gave him did come true. Joseph probably never imagined that his life would take the twists and turns that it did. But you gotta wonder if those dreams stayed planted in his heart as a hope from God for the future. Because as our big idea today says, when God gives us a dream, He will see it through. We don't need to try and force anything to happen. We just need to follow Jesus and do what God invites us to do, and He will start to line up those pieces, and He will make it a reality. Even when it seems like that dream that God gave us is coming to an end, and we'll see that in Joseph's story, God can still use it for His purposes. So what does that mean for us? We need to get close to Jesus, spend time with Him, listen to the Holy Spirit and those little nudges that we might get. And if and when God gives you a dream, just keep following Jesus, listening to the Spirit, and know that God will see it through. This has been so much fun, guys, and I will catch you next time. Dream on.
Hey friends, turn to the person next to you
and answer the following questions before the time runs out.
Question time. Joseph's brothers didn't respond well to his dreams. What can we learn from the outcome of this story? What can you do to pay more attention to dreams you get?
Joseph's brothers didn't appreciate him sharing his dreams, but that didn't stop him from doing it anyways.
Yeah, when you have a dream that you don't understand, you should pray and ask the Holy Spirit to help you understand what it means.
We sometimes have dreams while we're sleeping, but there's a different type of dream, when we really, really want to do something that can also count as having a dream.
Now, let's go check in with Jess's story and see what happened when she had a dream.
Hi, my name is Jessica, and I'm so excited to welcome you to InterVarsity Pioneer Camp Ontario. I don't know if you're a camper or not, but I am, and I want to show you a glimpse into my life. So come with me, let's go. Yeah, so as a young girl, I always wanted to make sure that everyone felt like they had a friend. And so in elementary school, there was this girl that was always by herself in a walker at recess. And so I went over to her and I became her friend. And it was my friend Callie with cerebral palsy. And so I always made sure that she didn't feel alone. I loved hanging out with friends, but I'm also a very active person, and so I love to run outside in nature. I love swimming, and I also like kayaking and canoeing and mountain biking and just hiking outside in the outdoors. Yeah, so I went to another camp and they didn't have a special needs program. And that was really hard for me because my heart was to have a place where everyone can come and enjoy camp. And so when I came to this camp, to Pioneer Camp, and they did have a special needs program, I was so excited that my friend Callie and other friends with special needs could come and enjoy camp. As my final year of university was coming to a close, I was asking God, okay, what do you have next for me? And I was looking through an email and I saw that Pioneer Camp Ontario was looking for a special needs director. And I was like, oh wow, like this could really combine both my heart to work with people with different disabilities and be outside in nature. And so I looked at the requirements and I was like, yep, okay, this looks like me. But I was hesitant because I was still so young. But I knew that, you know, if God was calling me into this role this summer, that He would fulfill this dream of mine and help me succeed in this role. And so here I am today as the Director of Special Needs at Pioneer Camp Ontario. So through the year, I do not live at camp, I live remotely, and anytime a new camper with special needs applies to camp, I contact their parents and I set up an interview time to meet with them. And then I travel to their house and I meet with both the parents and the child and their siblings, and I just ask them some questions about who they are and what they like to do and how we can make their time at camp a successful one. So once they arrive at camp, I welcome them when they arrive, and then I show them where their cabin is, where they'll be living, and I introduce them to their leader, and then we go around camp and we do fun things with them. So we go swimming. Sometimes if they're in a support staff role, they'll help us organize the tuck shop, sort out the mail. We'll all enjoy meals at the dining hall every day, Bible studies, lots of things like that. Camp is a great place to connect with God because I'm able to just be outside in nature and see His beautiful creation and listen to the birds that He's made. Now that I'm in this role, it's really great to know that God cares about every single detail of our lives, even those little dreams that we thought about long ago. And so now it's pretty remarkable to be here at camp and living the dream that I had long ago as a young child. I'm so thankful to God that Callie can come and join me now at camp. As you know, as a young girl reaching out to her in elementary school, I never would have thought that today we'd be together here at camp. Well, that was a glimpse into my life at camp. I hope to see you at camp too. See you soon.
Question time. Do you have a dream that God has given you? What can you be doing right now as you wait on Him to see it through? How does it make you feel to know that God will see it through and that you don't have to make it happen on your own?
Amazing. Jess dreamt of sharing her love for the outdoors with people with special needs, and God came through for her.
Exactly. She didn't try to force it, but asked God where to go, and that's what makes the outcome very special.
Absolutely. Let's break into our small groups now and see what this looks like in our own lives.